Realtor, got a YouTube channel. So I'm just gonna ask like how long you've been here, what do you think of Atlanta, what are some of the highlights or good things about being here and why you chose to live here?
Okay.
She's also looking for a house. If that's
Really? Small world. Oh my gosh. What's up, you guys? This is Tim Trevathan with Tim Trevathan Homes and Keller Williams Realty, and I am here in downtown Atlanta. Yes, on my GoPro, and we are going to take a look at the city. So you guys come check it out with me. All right, so pardon the squinting eyes. I got LASIK surgery maybe about 10 years ago already, and so I've got kind of like this light sensitivity. I could be wearing sunglasses, but I'd rather you be able to see all my facial expressions as I'm walking around here. Guys, I'm here in downtown Atlanta, and as a local agent realtor here working in the Atlanta metro area, I love the city that I live in. And I just want to give you guys a tour of what it looks like here in downtown Atlanta, because some of you that are from other cities, other states, you might be wondering, what does this city look like? And so that's what this video is going to be about. And guys, I moved here about 7 years ago myself. I grew up in Montgomery, Alabama. And the cool thing is, I had a chance to be able to visit Atlanta several times growing up as a kid, whether if it was to see an Atlanta Braves game or Atlanta Falcons football game, or just coming up here and checking out the Koreatown that's in the suburbs in Duluth, which is about 30 minutes northeast of downtown where I am right now. But guys, what I want to talk about is for those that have thought about moving to Atlanta, why should you consider Atlanta? Is this a place that you could call home? Well, look, I've had many clients that have come and moved here and called this place home and have really enjoyed it. And if you're one of those people that is even thinking about moving to Atlanta, I'd love to hear from you, whether it's text, call, email, however you want to get a hold of me. I love to be able to touch base with you and just be able to flesh things out, talk about Atlanta, cost of living, you know, what's it like to live here, what are some of the jobs. And in fact, I'm gonna go ahead and dive into some of those things here right now. So first, let's just take a look what's around us. I know we need to soak it all in first before I just start yapping my jaws off. So guys, behind me is the iconic World of Coca-Cola Museum. Contrary to popular belief, that's not actually where they make the Coca-Cola. It's in another building factory away from here, but this is where you can see all of the memorabilia and history about Coca-Cola and how it started. Big tourist attraction, as well as everything else that you see. You can see there, it's the aquarium, Georgia Aquarium. Really cool aquarium with lots and lots of fish. You know, anywhere that you come to want to, I guess, make this a walkability kind of thing, a live, work, play environment, you're gonna either have to take a car, which is the most dependent thing for you in this city, or if you do live right in the heart of downtown, you can take the MARTA. But MARTA is limited to a certain distance. It goes as far north as Doraville, and then it goes south close to the airport, or right at the airport basically. But look here, you can see the city. There's a lot of trees. You'll find it interesting that Atlanta's got a lot of green space here. So if you were to do an aerial view on a map, Google Maps, you'll see that there is a lot of trees here. People that I know that have come from other cities, especially out west, they're not accustomed to seeing all the trees. That's one thing that Georgia's got. If you go further north, you got a lot of mountains. You can see that people are getting in line, and I'm here actually on a Friday morning. It's about Friday at 11 a.m. and people are just enjoying their day today, even though it's a work day. So you can check it out here. Again, the aquarium, the CNN building over there. In that direction over there, you've got the State Farm Arena, where the Atlanta Hawks basketball team plays. Trae Young balling it up over there. You've got the Westin building, the tallest skyscraper in Atlanta. They got the Sundial restaurant, which me and my wife went, celebrated our 1-year anniversary over there. Beautiful, beautiful views from the top. You can see the entire city, including the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, which is on the other side. And if you look in the distance, there is the Ferris wheel, and then there's the Centennial Olympic Park, which was created for the sole purpose of the 1996 Summer Olympic Games. Already been so many years ago, but now that park is there. It's kind of like a historical monument and place that you could walk around. If you were to go further that direction, you will see that that is Midtown. So if you're coming from I-85, Interstate 85 north, coming south direction towards Atlanta, you will first hit Midtown before you get here to downtown. And guys, it's like a wonderful place to be. A lot of young professionals here, a lot of families. Industries that you can look forward to would include healthcare, education, supply chain logistics, financing. Those are some of the biggest industries. And not only that, you've got, well, speaking of healthcare, plenty of healthcare facilities like Emory Healthcare Hospital. There's a building there, EY, Ernst & Young for finance and accounting. So you just got a little bit of everything. I personally live about 30 minutes northeast of downtown in Gwinnett County in a city called Lawrenceville. A very prominent, well-known place, and people like to live in the suburbs, and that's one of the places that they like to live. For me, the reason why I picked that place is because I wanted the space. I know downtown, all the cool things are happening here. You got, you know, different festivals, Midtown Festival, although they canceled that this year. And then they also have like Piedmont Park nearby, great park, hundreds of acres. I may be exaggerating there, but there's just a lot of things to do. But the reason why I picked Lawrenceville and Duluth, that area, is because mainly for this space, the price per square foot is a lot more affordable than here in the urban area of downtown Atlanta. Also, it's a bit safer. When I moved, I was single back in 2016, and yes, wasn't dating at the time, but was already starting to prepare my life for having a family. Where would I call home as a family man, as a dad, future dad? And I thought that Gwinnett County would be good because of the school systems being some of the best. The cool thing about Atlanta is that you've got a lot of schools that are some of the top ranked in the state. 80% of the top 25 schools, high schools that is, can be found in Metro Atlanta in the entire state. 50% of those, or maybe a little bit over 50%, are located in North Metro Atlanta, where I live and serve. Hopefully you guys can see a lot of this and not just my face. I want you guys to be able to see there's the Centennial Olympic Park, which we're gonna walk over. I'm gonna go ahead and walk over there now. I'm gonna walk over there, yeah, because I can. And I'm telling you, the weather is getting a lot better these days. Cool off. Speaking of weather here in Atlanta, you've got 4 seasons, 4 distinct seasons. Although spring is starting to get shorter and fall is starting to get shorter. But the good thing is you get 4 distinct seasons. Winter is mild. We get snow maybe once every 2 years, and it snows one day and it's like an inch and we all freak out. But if you're not looking for snow or cold weather, this is the place to be. And yet, in the summer, it is pretty blazing hot and it's humid. The humidity adds to the weather where it feels hotter than it really is with the heat index. So you gotta be aware of that. We're coming up in some really nice scenery here. You can take a look. And I will say, since I am a suburbanite, I might come down here to downtown once or twice a month, which, you know, it isn't often. A lot of times the reason for me coming here would be to either see some friends that live in ITP inside the perimeter, which means inside the Interstate 285, which circles the entire Metro Atlanta area, or for a concert or festival, which a lot are being played at State Farm Arena, as well as Fox Theater for an awesome theatrical performance. You got Atlanta United soccer team and Mercedes-Benz, which is shared with the Atlanta Falcons team. Again, Atlanta Hawks basketball in State Farm Arena. And then you have to go further out west, actually, to find the Atlanta Braves baseball stadium. Truist Park would be located in Sandy Springs area. So wasn't like that until a few years ago when we opened up the new stadium, but here it is, guys, check it out. There's Midtown in the distance. Here's the Westin sundial. And we got a really good view of it. Really good green space. Other cool place there, and if you don't know already about the South, especially here in Georgia, is we love our college football, maybe more than professional football. Right there you got the College Football Hall of Fame, and it's got a lot of Hall of Famers. Tim Tebow is a big one. Cam Newton, War Eagle. I actually went to Auburn University in Auburn, Alabama growing up. So I guess I should probably share my story about why I picked Atlanta as my home. I was born in Maryland, raised in Alabama, went to K through 12. Then I ended up going to Auburn University, got an accounting degree, didn't like accounting, decided to take a trip overseas. I ended up going to Korea, Seoul, South Korea to be exact, to be an English teacher. This was back in 2010 when the economy was not good and there weren't that many good jobs, and quite frankly, I wanted to explore the world, and I thought that was my best chance right after college. Landed me an English teaching job at a Hagwon, a private English academy. I basically decided that I'm gonna try it out for 1 year and then see if I want to stay or not. So I moved back to Korea, taught English at a different school, ended up being there for another 4.5 years, so 5.5 years total. 2016, I moved back in Montgomery, Alabama, stayed with them for about 2 months in their house. I said, what am I gonna do with my life? What's my next step? So I decided to move to Georgia, and I came here with no job, no friends, no place to live. And the way that I set up my life here was that I decided I'm gonna find a room to rent, which I did through the Georgia Tech Korean Community Board. I'm half Korean, by the way. My mother's Korean, and I, again, lived in Korea. I was able to learn some of the language there, and I wanted to move somewhere where there was a Korean community, which is another reason why I picked the Duluth-Lawrenceville area, because they have the third or top three, I would say, largest Korean population in the country here in Metro Atlanta, particularly in Gwinnett County in Duluth-Lawrenceville area, in Swanee, Johns Creek, Dorville, all of that area. Now, going back, how did I set up shop here? I ended up getting a room for rent, $400 a month, including utilities and internet. Now it's gonna range anywhere from $600 to $800. Prices have gone up. That was back in 2016. But I did that for my first year. I was able to save as much as I could. I started as a real estate agent, and the way that I got my license is that I took a full-time intensive course, took that class after passing the state exam, hit the pavement running hard. 6 days a week, started to work my butt off. Did that for the first 4 or 5 months, 6 months, until I was able to get a couple transactions under my belt and be able to meet and talk with people. Again, this is one of the reasons why I'm doing this, because I want to reach a larger audience and have more exposure to letting you guys know that I'm here to help. If you do want to make a move, whether it's here in the heart of Atlanta, because I got a huge referral network team through Keller Williams, or if it's in Gwinnett County, Forsyth, Fulton County, or the neighboring cities. And then I even found that I had friends that were moving here. And I thought, there's something about Atlanta that attracts people. A lot of people from neighboring states, Florida, Alabama, Tennessee, South Carolina, Mississippi, they all move here, especially young professionals after college. A lot of young families are here, downtown ITP, as well as OTP in the suburbs like where I live. So they're scattered all over. I've had clients move here from New York City, LA, Chicago, New Jersey, Wisconsin, Texas, and Dallas, and Houston. So you might be wondering, Tim, well, so you chose the suburbs, you already told us why. Is there any reason for us to move to downtown Atlanta? Yes, many reasons. If you're a young professional, Atlanta is a popping city. You've got so many sectors and industries to work. The pay is good, maybe not as high as other cities like New York or LA, but your cost of living is more affordable here. You can get a 1-bedroom condo as cheap as $200,000 and as high as $300,000 for about 700 to 800 square feet. Now, if you want prime location, sitting right on the Beltline next to Ponce City Market, I had a client buy there in Midtown last year in November of 2021. I believe she paid $325,000. It's for a 1-bedroom, 700 square feet. As soon as she walked outside of her condo, right in front of her is Ponce City Market and the Beltline. No joke. Prime location. Got another friend, his 1-bedroom, 800 square foot condo is in the Spire. It is not a mid-rise like my other client next to Ponce City Market. It is a high-rise. I'm a high-rise kind of person. Maybe that's because I lived in Seoul, South Korea, which is like New York City on steroids. But he enjoys living there in the Spire, and his, I think, is worth about $300,000 now. HOA in Atlanta will probably run you around anywhere from $500 to $800 a month. My friend that's in the Spire, which is one of the nicest 1-bedroom condos, he's paying, I think, $600 a month. Covers things like security, parking, swimming pool, gym, all kinds of things like that. You guys like that view, don't you? Let me let you savor that view right real quick. Soak it in. The jobs is the first and foremost reason why. Second, it's the affordability. Third, I would say it's the diversity. Maybe not as much as some of the other cities like New York or LA, but the cool thing is you've got about 150 nationalities representing here in Atlanta, which means all of those nationalities that come here bring their culture, bring their food, bring their language. If you're into sports, great to be downtown. If you're into concerts and festivals, great to be downtown. Last week, I was just at Dragon Con, huge pop culture convention that is the biggest in the Southeast. About 65,000 people came, pouring down rain while people were getting in line to see the vendors in one of the buildings, and the rain didn't keep them away. The line was like a mile long and they were getting soaking wet, but they were happy to be there. I mean, you got some avid fans for those that come here for their favorite musician, favorite actor. Speaking of which, we have an incredibly awesome movie scene here. Nothing like LA, I get it. I came back, I asked myself, where can I live that's close to my family that are still in Montgomery, but be far enough away to create my own life, start a new life, and be close to Korean culture in the midst of American culture. Traffic here is pretty brutal. Nothing like LA traffic, nothing can compare there, I don't think. But it's gotten worse here. And over the years, so much so that before you can come at any hour other than rush hour and you'll be fine. Now it could be random and sporadic. Any time during the day, not just at 8 a.m. rush hour or 4 p.m., 5 p.m. rush hour. Now you can come at 10 or 1 o'clock. You have an accident, you're at the mercy of the traffic there. Just asking a couple of the locals some questions here, and here I have, what's your name, man?
Betsy.
Betsy, hey Betsy. So just tell me a little bit about like how long have you lived here, and why did you choose to live in Atlanta? Why did you move here?
So I have been in Atlanta for about 8 years now. I came down in a relationship I'm no longer in, but I decided to stay because I just love the environment here, the ambiance, everything. There's so much to do. Downtown Atlanta has so many tourist areas. I live up north by like Sandy Springs, so on the perimeter, and like where I live, everything is literally nearby. So that's what I love about Atlanta. Like anywhere you live, there's somewhere to go, something to do, somewhere to drive to if you want to drive. Like going to Chattanooga or going to Florida. I love driving to Florida a lot. So yeah, that's why I love Atlanta, and that's why I stay here.
Sweet, thank you, Betsy.
Thank you.
If you have questions, please post in the comment section. If you're looking to make a move, give me a call. Set up a time on Zoom with me on calendly.com in the description. Like this video, subscribe. I would love to work with you if you decide to move here. Check out my other videos. I do a lot of vlogs. Anyway, you guys, you know the spill. Just check it out. You won't be disappointed. See you guys on the next video.